Good morning and greetings from Northumberland on the 4th of September. It's a little bit lighter because I'm a little bit later in posting my Saturday reflection and prayers. Also an apology for a technical reason, the technical reason being I didn't do it properly. The night prayer from yesterday was not posted. I will post it tonight as our night prayer, and I apologise for this break in the service we give. I discovered something significant, or at least very interesting today. Today is a minor feast that the Church of England doesn't really take much notice of, but is there all the same. It's the feast of the translation of the relics of St Cuthbert. And it marks the time when they came to their final resting place in Durham after being processed around the north of England. Where I was on holiday a week ago, we came back a week ago, where I was on holiday a week ago on the west coast, the very southwest coast of Scotland, we were near a little place called Kirkcudbright. And the name Kirkcudbright means the chapel of St Cuthbert. And there is a little stone church there on an early medieval site. And it is reputed by some to be the final place where the bones of St Cuthbert were taken in a thought that they might be transferred to Ireland. No one knows if that's the case, and there is another theory that the church, the chapel of St Cuthbert, was founded by missionaries under the influence of the monastery at Lindisfarne. But it illustrates this story that after the Vikings raided Holy Island, and even before that his coffin was raised into a more prominent place, that his body was processed around the north of England and finally ended up in Chesterley Street and then finally in Durham. And there are places quite close to here, St Cuthbert's Cave and other places that are associated with resting places for his relics. And I realised I didn't know much about his relics. I knew this cross that I wear is a sort of facsimile in pewter, I guess, of the gold and garnet cross that was found in his coffin, and is still believed by most experts to be the cross that he wore as a bishop. And I also remember now that if you go to Durham, you can see the coffin. There is a splendid display of Anglo-Saxon remains, and I'm fairly clear in my own mind that I want to go there and to spend some time looking at these relics and remains of St Cuthbert. Because it strikes me that in many Christian traditions, particularly in the Eastern Orthodox and in the Roman Catholic tradition, we give great honour to the bones, to the remains, to the relics of the saints, because they speak to us of people who have lived their life in God. And there is no doubt in my mind that living here, where every day I look out and see that place on Farne where St Cuthbert lived and died, it has an effect on me. The proximity of that place makes me reflect upon his life and, above all, his response to God's call. It was the death of St Aidan that prompted Cuthbert to go and to become a monk. The story is he saw a vision of angels taking Aidan's body, taking Aidan's soul into heaven. And so he went to Melrose and started his monastic journey. The journey that led to him being perhaps the most significant Christian figure of this region. You would have to wonder whether he or Aidan should get that title. But what I'm saying is this: as we remember those people who thought it was worth to preserving and preventing desecration of his body, of his burial place by Viking invaders, they wanted to honour something. We honour it by living lives that reflect his in love and service and devotion. And we give thanks for those who have kept his story and his reflection of the story of Christ going in our land right up to this day. May God bless us all.